Why do INFJs like to avoid people? Have you ever had an INFJ in your life who seemed warm, caring, and deeply invested in your connection, only to suddenly pull back, retreat into their own world, and leave you wondering what went wrong? To others, INFJs, often called the mystics or advocates of the Myers-Briggs personality system, can seem puzzling. One moment, they're the kindest people you know. The next, they're nowhere to be found. Why do they do this? Why do INFJs like to avoid people, even those they care about deeply? In this video, we're diving into profound reasons behind this behavior. Whether you're an INFJ yourself, or someone who loves and struggles to understand one, stick around. Together, we'll explore the why behind their retreat and how to approach these situations with empathy and awareness. When overwhelmed by emotional energy, INFJs are highly empathetic and absorb the emotions of those around them, which can be exhausting. Imagine an INFJ attending a family gathering where everyone is venting about their problems. The INFJ listens attentively, but by the end, they feel emotionally drained and might avoid social interactions for days afterward. Their extroverted feeling, phi function, makes them deeply attuned to others' emotions, but without proper boundaries, it can lead to emotional burnout. Sensory overload. The inferior extroverted sensing, SE of INFJs, makes them prone to sensory overwhelm in busy or chaotic environments. After spending a day at a crowded mall, an INFJ might cancel plans with friends to recharge in the quiet of their home. INFJs are introverts at heart, and their SE function means they can only handle so much external stimulation before needing solitude. 3. Struggling to maintain shallow connections. INFJs crave deep, meaningful relationships and often avoid people with whom they feel a lack of depth. If a coworker only talks about surface-level topics like office gossip, an INFJ might begin to dodge interactions with them altogether. Their dominant, introverted intuition, NI, seeks depth and purpose, making superficial relationships feel draining or unfulfilling. Fear of being misunderstood. INFJs often feel like others don't fully understand their complex inner worlds, leading them to avoid interactions that feel futile. After sharing a deeply personal thought with a friend who dismisses it, an INFJ might pull away, fearing future vulnerability will also be misunderstood. The disconnection between their rich inner world and external interactions can create a sense of isolation, driving avoidance. 5. Need for emotional recharge. INFJs require significant alone time to process their thoughts and emotions, especially after intense social interactions. After an emotional conversation with a friend, an INFJ might ignore texts for a few days to process what was said and regain their emotional balance. Their introverted nature thrives in solitude, where they can recharge and reflect without external demands. Perfectionism in relationships. INFJs hold themselves to impossibly high standards in relationships and may avoid people when they feel they're falling short. An INFJ might stop responding to a friend if they believe they've disappointed them, even if the friend hasn't expressed any discontent. Their idealism can make them overly critical of themselves, leading to avoidance out of shame or fear of inadequacy. And protecting their inner world. INFJs value their inner thoughts and emotions deeply and may retreat when they feel others are intruding too much. If a new acquaintance starts asking overly personal questions, an INFJ might distance themselves to preserve their emotional privacy. Their introverted intuition, NI, thrives on introspection and reflection, which can feel threatened by external demands. Avoiding emotional drama. INFJs dislike conflict and emotional turbulence, often withdrawing to avoid drama. If a friend is constantly involved in arguments and expects the INFJ to pick sides, they might begin to avoid that friend entirely. Their Fey function seeks harmony, and they'll often retreat rather than engage in situations that disrupt their peace. And overthinking social interactions. INFJs often replay past conversations in their minds analyzing every word and gesture. This overthinking can lead to social paralysis. After saying something they perceive as awkward at a party, an INFJ might avoid the group entirely out of fear of judgment. Their INFJ work together to create a loop of analysis, making them hyper-aware of potential social missteps. 10. Fear of rejection. INFJs are highly sensitive to rejection and may avoid people to protect themselves from potential hurt. After sensing that a friend is pulling away, an INFJ might preemptively withdraw to avoid being rejected first. Their deep emotional sensitivity makes the prospect of rejection feel particularly painful, driving avoidance as a defense mechanism. 11. Struggles with setting boundaries. INFJs often have difficulty saying no and may avoid people to escape situations where they feel taken advantage of. A coworker constantly asks for help with tasks, and instead of refusing, the INFJ starts avoiding them altogether. Their FE makes them prioritize others' needs, but without boundaries, this can lead to resentment and withdrawal. 12. Exhaustion from being the helper. INFJs often take on the role of emotional support for others, which can leave them feeling drained. After weeks of supporting a friend through a breakup, an INFJ might disappear for a while to recover their emotional energy. While they find meaning in helping others, their introverted nature requires them to step back and recharge. 13. Idealizing solitude. INFJs often romanticize solitude as a way to reconnect with themselves and escape the demands of social interaction. They might cancel plans with friends to spend the weekend journaling, meditating, or pursuing creative hobbies. Their INFJ create a balance where solitude feels like a necessary retreat to maintain emotional and mental health. 14. Fear of hurting others. INFJs may avoid people to prevent themselves from saying or doing something that could hurt them. If a friend asks for honest feedback on a sensitive topic, an INFJ might avoid responding altogether, fearing their words will cause pain. Their deep empathy makes them cautious about how their actions impact others, even to the point of avoidance. INFJs don't avoid people out of malice or indifference. It's a complex interplay of emotional sensitivity, introspection, and self-preservation. Understanding these reasons can help us approach INFJs with empathy and patience, fostering deeper and more meaningful connections. If you're an INFJ, know that your need for space doesn't make you a bad friend or partner. Communicating your needs can go a long way in maintaining healthy relationships. And if you know an INFJ, try to offer them the understanding they crave but rarely ask for. Which of these reasons surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our deep dives into personality and psychology. Stay safe and see you in the next one.